Hey, welcome back. It's me, Emma, aka Stitch by Emma, aka the second best Emma Stone. And today we're going to do something I'm really pumped about, which is show you my yarn collection, specifically my hand-dyed yarns, because I have a lot and I've had a lot of requests for this since before I even got a YouTube channel. But I do want to make a couple disclaimers first. Number one, of course, is that making stuff is my job. Crocheting, knitting is my job. So all of these are technically business materials, okay? It's not all for fun, and I know a lot of times people can get scrutinized for the amount of yarn that they have, and I know that I have a lot. I'm well aware. I'm very aware of everything that I have. Everything is very intentional. I have plans for things, and at the end of the day, they are business supplies, even though I do plan to use some of them for me personally, because we should do things for ourselves at times. Number two, I used to work in a yarn store. I used to work in a luxury yarn store where there were hand-dyed yarns galore, okay? And I got a hefty discount. When I had a discount at this place, I stocked up on a ton of stuff that I knew I could never afford like otherwise. And I knew once I was going to leave that I just wanted to like buy a bunch of stuff in bulk because I was like, when will I ever get a chance to buy such expensive things for such a cheap price ever again? So a lot of the things that I have are attributed to having that discount at a point in my life a couple months back. And number three is that a lot of these happen to be gifted by friends, family, or brands that I was very lucky to have sent me some things. So now that we have those disclaimers out of the way, let's get started. Anything that's from a small business or a small indie dyer brand, I am going to plug their brand. So if you like it, you can go check it out yourself. None of it's sponsored. I just like to give credits because these things are beautiful and they deserve it. So the first thing I'm going to show is from Sassy Songstress Yarns. It is this absolutely gorgeous, stunning, like pink and beige colorway. And these next few skeins are going to be yarns that I got from Chicago Yarn Con a couple weeks ago. I'd never been to an event like this before, and I was on cloud 9, just completely overwhelmed with how beautiful everything is. I have like a hiccup coming and I can feel it in my chest, but like it will not come out of my throat. And I can just feel like the pressure sitting here right now. After I bought this yarn, I passed a stand selling this one, and they just looked so stunning together. This one is by Muse 2320 Fiber Co. And it just has the very slightest like variations in the color, and it's so soft. It was the only yarn that she was selling in this base, and the base is a superwash merino, but it's one of those like really soft superwash merinos, you know? I don't know how to describe it except that it's like perfect. Low-key, I filmed this whole video like 2 hours ago, and then when I went to watch it, I realized the sound cut out like 30 seconds in, and my mic died and I didn't realize. So I'm gonna keep like periodically checking down to make sure the little light's still on because I'm terrified of that happening again. I'm getting over like a cold. I had a sore throat and I was losing my voice this morning. So like I don't want to record this all over again, but I want to. I do. I'm doing it anyway. So the other thing that I got at that yarn con are these beautiful yarns from Shersty Cat Designs. They look so stunning together. The thing is, a lot of people ask me like where I get my inspiration from, and I think a lot of people are expecting a really like clear cut like, oh, I'm inspired by XYZ person, or I'm inspired by this designer, or I'm inspired by the trees outside. But like honestly, I get most of my design inspiration ideas from just like seeing two colors together and looking at them and being like, oh my god, like I have an idea. Like when I see colors together like this, it's like that scene in Ratatouille where like he eats the cheese and the strawberry and then like things start dancing in his head. Like that is what I feel like when I see stuff like this. I just think it is so beautiful and gorgeous. The last thing I got at that yarn con was from Ew to Me to You. So EWE to me to letter U. And it's this beautiful alpaca boucle. Wait, is it alpaca or did I just make that up? It's not. It's a mohair wool boucle, and it is just so pretty. It looks like moss. It looks like it was literally dug up out of the ground in the best way. And that's the stuff I'm looking for sometimes, which segue, this is a perfect segue into the yarn that I used for my moss shrug. The moss shrug is something that I'll insert a picture for, but I'm actually going to put it up for sale, I think, when I get my website up. But it's very creatively named because it looks like moss. I know, I'm a genius, but this is the yarn I used for it. And as you can see, it like has these little like danglies as a part of it, so it looks very like naturey, I guess. I don't know, but it's called Bernat Bling Bling, and it's a discontinued yarn from a while ago, and you can only find them on like eBay or thrift stores. I got this one at Goodwill for 99 cents. Ever since I kind of realized how much I enjoy working, oh, excuse me, here comes the hiccup. Ever since I realized like how much I enjoyed working with that kind of yarn, I just like try and grab it whenever I can find it, just because I know it's discontinued. So like, I don't know. There's something about finding something that you really like and knowing that you can't ever like reliably get it ever again. You know, you kind of just want to snag it whenever you can, which I think is fair personally. Another really gorgeous colorway that I have is this one. It's like a peachy orangey yellow color, and this is actually by a fellow creator. This was hand dyed by Expression L. Her name is Eloise, and she just hand dyes beautiful yarn. I was very lucky to have gotten a couple little colors from her drop a couple months ago, and it was just stunning. It made my whole day because it's so cool to like make something when you know that the materials that you even use for it were made with love and care. And I can't say made with love and care without thinking about that fucking video of Ethan Slater, the guy who's dating Ariana Grande, who played SpongeBob, where he goes like, "It was handled with such love and care." And then he like emotes. Oh my god, I can't. I'm so sorry that I just did that. Like, please forgive me if you can. But she does make these with like love and care, and any like indie dyer does. So it's very cool to know that like there is so much effort and so much like personal attention put into even the materials that you're using in your projects, and it makes me so happy. And yeah, so those are stunning. These are stunning and beautiful. And another indie dyer that I got some yarn from was this one. It's from Gnome Depot Fiber. And this I actually got at a little fiber arts, not fiber arts, just a regular arts festival that was going on near my boyfriend's neighborhood last summer. And I popped in and I checked out some yarns, and I ended up only buying, I think I bought 2 skeins of this. Ugh. Oh my god, there it was. There it was. I ended up buying like 2 skeins of this. It reminded me a little bit of Sully from Monsters Inc., but also of Monet water lilies at the same time. So to me, this was like perfect and beautiful. So I like to get like a significant amount of my yarn from thrifting, because I think you can just find the coolest stuff thrifting when you're not even expecting something. And then when you see the colors, you can start to like envision things in your own head, you know? It all just kind of plays off of each other. And one of my favorite places to thrift yarn is eBay. I like to get a lot on eBay, not like a lot like quantity wise, but like the actual term of like a yarn lot, like a lot of yarn. And then you buy like whatever that person is selling. Somebody might be like clearing out their stash, and there's like, I'm selling a lot of like 10 skeins of yarn. And then you'll see a couple in there that you really like, and then you end up being surprised about like some of the other ones. And that's how I got a lot of yarns in my collection, actually. Here are some really cool ones. This one, oh my god, it's like all messed up. This is a beautiful, thick, thin yarn that also has like very pretty colors on it. And I have been getting super into thick, thin yarn ever since I started knitting. Crochet, thick, thin, it looks okay, but like it doesn't really have that extra oomph. You know, something about the thinness of knit stitches really makes textured yarn stand out so much better than crochet, in my opinion. That's something that I like more about knitting than crochet. I don't really think I prefer one over the other, but there are certain things that look better in certain styles. And this is something that I think is especially perfect for knit. But yeah, ever since I started that, I've started looking out for thick, thin yarn in specific, because I just think it is so cool. And something that's also cool is that this is like a hand spun yarn. Like when something is thick, thin, that means it was hand spun usually, right? So there's something so special, again, just about like knowing that what you are working with is handmade on handmade. You know, it's so cool, and I love it. And I don't know, it just feels so special. That's why I love when I see people selling items that are made with super unique yarns like that, because you just know how much like personal attention went into it, and it's just so beautiful. Art is beautiful, making clothes is beautiful. I love it so much. There are some yarns that I feel like I'm saving for a special occasion, because I can make some stinkers sometimes. I'm gonna be so fucking honest with you. I can make some of the ugliest shit ever, and I'm like lying to myself, and I'll be like, no, it's like, it's okay, it's still cute, right? And it's not. And sometimes you just gotta be like, it's not cute, and that's okay. So sometimes I get afraid to use like my really cool yarns, because I'm like, I don't want to waste it. I don't want to waste it on something that's gonna look like ass. So here are some yarns that I am afraid to waste, and it's these two. These came in a yarn lot as well, the same one as this one actually. These two are so stunning, okay? They just would look so beautiful together. And these are smaller skeins, so like you would need some other things to put in with it as well, which I'm totally fine with, but I need to figure out like what. A lot of times when I buy stuff at like the store that I used to work at, if I only bought like one skein of something, people would be like, oh my god, what are you gonna make with just one skein? Which I think could have been kind of them being like, you need to buy more, but like also I worked there, so like I don't know why they'd be trying to get me to buy more, you know? Because I personally really just like to make something as unique as possible. I like to make a lot of like pieces where I put a bunch of yarns together with a bunch of different textures and materials, and it's something that really just can't be recreated because there's just so many different pieces that go into it. And I love that. I love doing that personally. I struggle with basics a little bit. I really admire and respect anybody who can make just like a beautiful, sleek basic. Like I see people make like the most gorgeous, like neutral tone, like crew neck sweaters or cardigans or something, and I think they are stunning. But my like patience when it comes to just working with like one color of yarn or like knowing that I'm following like one very structured pattern, I get so like, oh my god, I can't do this. Like I struggle with it, and that's something that I really want to try and do. Like by the end of the year, make like one really gorgeous, sleek, totally like neutral piece. One of those pieces where if you told somebody you made it, they wouldn't believe you, you know, just because it looks so like straight off the rack, but not like a cheap rack. You know what I mean? Like I respect the basics grind so much. I just struggle with it so much because I'm such like a colorful person, I feel like. So I don't know. I want to get into it though. I want to get into it because I think it is just so sick. I get a lot of people asking me too, like, why you've never made a pair of socks? Why don't you want to make socks? And the truth is, I just don't want to make socks. I have literally no interest whatsoever in making socks. I don't know what it is. If you see me making a sock, like I've been taken over, or I've grown greatly as a person and had a lot of character development and decided I have the patience to knit a sock. I don't know. I just like to get my socks from the store. You know, I don't know. There's something about it. There's a mental block there that makes me really not want to do it. Anyway, back to these guys. I'm afraid of wasting them, so I'm saving them for something special. Blah blah blah. Anyway, I got them in a lot, right? The same amount as this one, like I said. And I want you to guess how much this one costed. Okay? Not in the lot, like whoever bought it originally. The price tag is still on it for how much they paid for it. So I'm just gonna give you the info. It is 100% superfine cashmere, fancy, 95 yards, okay? Hand wash, dry clean, dry flat, don't bleach, blah, 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 all that fun stuff. How much do you think it costs? Do, 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 do. $34.50 without taxes. $34.50. I paid $89 for the entire lot of about 20 skeins. So that, like mathematically, I paid about $2 for this. It was $34.50. Thrifting yarn is amazing. I have gotten stuff by thrifting yarns and buying like lots of yarn that I never would have been able to find or afford otherwise. I just think it is so amazing. Here's two more that I also thrifted. These were in different lots. This one is Yarn Bee, super chunky, and there were 3 of them in this, so definitely something that I could make like a pretty little sweater out of when the fall rolls around. Gorgeous. And this one is a really pretty boucle from Lorna's Lace is the brand. And it's very purpley. You know those things where people are like, people who love purple, like don't hesitate to just remind you how much they love purple. That's what I feel like I look like right now. All purple, holding up the purple yarn. Oh, also, this cardigan I'm wearing, it's called the Eloise cardigan. I wrote a pattern for it. I know, so exciting. The pattern is coming out on June 7th. So if you think it's cute and you like it and you might want to make it, I mean, look how cute it is. If you're watching this before June 7th, go to my Instagram to follow along for updates on the release and all the pattern testers and stuff. And if you've seen this after June 7th, go to my Etsy, save the pattern, maybe buy it if you want, if you're feeling a little frisky, you know. Anyway, this one is by Fiberspates in Gleam Lace. This one is very pretty. I just really loved it. This is another one from the store that I kind of copped on my last day out the door because it was something that I just wanted so bad, and I haven't really figured out exactly what I want to do with it yet, but I will. I will. I know everybody doubts me, but I will. Also by the brand Fiberspates. I really like Fiberspates. Everything I've tried from them, I really love. So we have 2 more on our roster from there. This one is called Fiberspates Scrumptious 4-ply. And when I told my mom the name of the yarn I was using, she laughed. And I was like, why is this so funny? And she's like, oh my God, Emma, I can't believe you said that. And I was like, what did I say? She thought I said Scrumptious 4-play. No, it's 4-ply. Ply like toilet paper. I was like, no, it's not called Scrumptious 4-play, but that would be funny, and maybe that's a great name for something else if I can figure out something funny to name Scrumptious 4-play. But I use this yarn to amp up an antique corset cover. I have it with me right now, but I found this antique yoke that somebody was selling for relatively cheap. If you can find antique yokes for cheap, it is like scoring the craziest score ever because they are so beautiful. This one in specific was a filet crochet antique yoke with butterflies, and I completed the yoke by making my own corset cover with this yarn. This ribbon that's in it was actually in it before I added anything. So I found this as a color match to the ribbon, which is pretty sick. It was almost an exact color match, which I was so excited about. Usually those yokes are used to attach like linens and cottons to nightgowns, corset covers, camisoles. So I just decided to make my own and finish it up by crocheting, and I thought it was really fun, and I love that piece. And the other Fiberspace one here is Fiberspace Cumulus. I love this yarn. This is a beautiful kind of like alpaca silk yarn, and it's quite affordable. I think these are like $8 a pop. Silky, smooth. I've loved every piece that I've made with it. I've made some of the Swan Lake skirts with it. I've made little sweaters with it, holding it single strand, and they're just like super airy and light and flowy. I love this yarn dearly. So cute. Another mohair kind of like this that is more affordable even is Hobby Diablo. I've also used that a lot and I love it. That was only like $3 to $5 depending on if it's on sale or not, and I find it very reliable. It's a pretty strong mohair too. It's got a strong hold on it. So like I know people are worried about like single strand yarns breaking sometimes. I've never worried about that with any of these. Here are some other gorgeous mohairs I have. This one was a gift, so I don't remember exactly what the brand was, but I've used this for a couple things already, and then the rest is going to be, we'll see, across projects across the board for the rest of my life. And then this one is by Farmer's Daughter Mohair. Also very gorgeous. This one I use in another triangles of the sleeves of the Eloise cardigan. So that's super cute. These yarns right here were very kindly gifted to me by Arcane Fiberworks. I do have an affiliate link with them. If by any chance you wanted to buy any of these, it's in my link tree. I think it's just like use Stitch by Emma and you can get 10% off. So just wanted to plug that just in case. But they did give me these yarns and I fully wholeheartedly endorse them. I think they make the most gorgeous colorways. They're also very kind people to work with. I really have enjoyed working with them. And the colors are just stunning and the yarn works up so beautifully. I've used this one in quite a few of my Swan Lake skirts. This is my last skein that I have left of it that I haven't wound yet. So I'm going to do something very beautiful with this. And then these are pretty like autumnish colors, and this one is gorgeous as well. The shades are called Through the Valley, I Love Fall Most of All, Golden Prairie, and Lavender Fields Forever. Their most gorgeous colorway. I've used up all of my yarn of it so far. I will send you, my God, are we texting now? I will show you a picture of the stuff that I've made with it. It's called Autumn Drive, and it's stunning and gorgeous and the perfect like fall warm toned colorway. Oh, I love it so much. Now we're going to talk some more like cheaper options on the more high-end scale. These are things that when I worked at the store, take a shot every time I say worked at the store. When I worked at the store and I realized I had this discount, I realized that these like lower of the higher end yarns are suddenly as cheap as going to Joann Fabrics. So I became addicted, of course. So one that I really like is Cascade Ultra Pima. It's a very nice cotton to work with. It's pretty buttery and I just love the way that it works up. This one's really nice. Also by Cascade is Cascade Heritage. I also use this in an Eloise cardigan. It's really nice. It does split a little bit, but it's a lace weight, and when it all works up, it's so like squishy. And I think it's just a really, really nice yarn to work with. They have this same like base in a slightly thicker yarn too, Cascade Heritage 6, I think, and I really like that one too. And then this yarn, I've seen people have mixed reviews on it, but this is Barroco Vintage and Barroco Vintage DK. They have it in a couple of different sizes and weights. But I really like this. I worked it up. It's a wool acrylic blend, so it's not too pricey. It's not too bad, and it's nice because sometimes 100% wool can be a little scratchy, so a blend can be kind of nice on your skin, and it's also easier because you can wash it in the washing machine and put it through the dryer if that's something that's important to you, because I know a lot of people don't like to hand wash. So if that's something, then I do recommend this one. I made a cute little off the shoulder top with this that I really liked, and I also ordered some of it in the fingering weight because I'm going to be working on this vest that's a Talking Heads vest, and I'm so excited about it. I'm doing a vest, and it's the Talking Heads 77 album cover, so it's just gonna be like a red vest with like the words across the top here, and then be a little mock neck vest, style it with like a plaid black skirt and some high boots. Oh my god, it's gonna be so cute. I wanted to make it with this one, and then when I did my swatch, I realized that 80 stitches across is what I would need to make the vest fit me like perfectly. But 80 stitches to try and make the graphic was way too pixelated, and the like smallest I could get it to go was 100. So I swatched 100 on a different fingering weight, and it was like perfect. So I ordered the smaller yarn just to like make sure it fits me perfectly. And then I think if everything works out, I'm planning on like vlogging that process, making a video about it, and then making the chart in a couple different sizes, and then putting it on my Etsy for like $2 or something. I don't know, because taking charts takes so long, and it's also so much harder than it looks. So I feel like that's fair, just like $2. But I'm really excited for this. I think it's gonna be so fun, and I can't wait to share that. I'm a huge Talking Heads fan. So is my dad. We've been super into them lately. We were watching Stop Making Sense the other day, and then like plugged in some of their albums on the record player. It was a blast. It was so fun. Something else that I'm a sucker for is any yarns that are a combination of green and pink. Oh my god, this one is by Symphony, Symfonie, and this is just stunning. It's gorgeous. This one was also pretty affordable too. I remember with the discount, it was like under $10 for me, so that's really fantastic. This is by Polka Dot Sheep in the shade Lavish. This one is lavish. It just caught my eye immediately when I saw it. And this one is Mad Tosh Shroom with a View, which I also had my eye on since like day one that I got in the store. Shot. Since day one when I saw it, I was like, I need that in my life. And I do have a plan for this one actually. I wanted to make a top with it for the longest time, and I just haven't gotten around to it because I got so wrapped up with like making patterns and writing stuff and doing work stuff that I was like, I don't have time to make something for myself. How silly is that? Doing things for yourself? Ew. Who does that? So this one I'm hoping to get to soon. Now, entirely judgment free, I'm going to show you the two most expensive yarns in my stash, okay? I bought these, again, with the discount. Take a shot. And one is Hedgehog Fibers Alpaca Boucle. This I really do think is worth every penny. It is just so lovely and soft and beautiful and unique. I think the colorway for this one was called Rosewood, because I remember thinking of Pretty Little Liars when I bought it, and then I started a Pretty Little Liars rewatch shortly after. Wow, her impact, her influence. But it's expensive, but there were so many gorgeous, beautiful colorways with this that I like would fantasize about. I would dream about. Like it is just absolutely stunning. But I only have the one, and again, this is one that I'm saving for something very special. And this one is called, it's the shade Butia by Manos del Uruguay in the base Alegria. And this is another yarn that is just absolutely beautiful. When I describe this one, I always say like the colors are alive. The colors are just alive on this. I feel like, I don't know, there's just something so special about this. I keep doing this as if like I'm an old beauty influencer and my camera focuses. I'm filming this on my phone. What am I doing? I look like a fool. Today I'm using NARS blush in the shade Orgasm. Like I'm going back to my days when I used to watch Bethany Moda. Did y'all ever watch Bethany Moda? Or I don't know how old the general audience is around here, because I used to watch the Bethany Moda Black Friday hauls as if it was like the Bible. Like I love that shit so much. It was so good. Oh my god, I used to be like, she's the most inspirational girl I've ever seen in my life because I wanted to be a YouTuber so bad when I was younger. Ah, if little me could see me now. Another brand I really like is Malabrigo. Malabrigo is pretty affordable for the most part, and they have so many different bases, so many different colors, so many beautiful, vibrant colors. And this one is called Pink Frost, and it's Malabrigo worsted. That's the line that it's in. And this was a gift from my grandma. When I told my grandma I wanted yarn for Christmas, because she sent me a text, she's like, "What do you want for Christmas?" And I was like, "I would love some yarn." And I sent her like 2 or 3 colors that I liked. And I was hoping that she'd get me like a skein of each. You know, she got me wholesale bags of each of them. I don't know where she got it from. The black market, if she like went straight to the source like a badass, but she got me wholesale bags of these Malabrigo yarns. So I have quite a few of these. I have been using it though, and I made a couple projects with this. I really like this yarn. I think it is so nice and so pretty, and it does also have like that slight texture variation that I love, which I think is just beautiful. Um, there are 2 gripes with Malabrigo. Back at the store, when we used to wind yarn, if a customer came back and they were like, "We need like 10 skeins of Malabrigo wound," day was over. Fuck a lunch break. Forget going home. Like, you were going to be winding these for the next like 3 hours because we use electric winders, not by hand. And they would always get caught. There was always knots. There was always like weird shit going on in there and tangles. But if you just wind it by hand, you're fine. If you are a normal person and you wind it by hand, you will be totally fine. But the electric winders, these would get caught on all the time. The other gripe is that they don't have dye lots. So if you don't buy all the colors that you need, like, good luck getting anything else again. I've had people who came in and they were like, "I bought this 3 years ago and I finally started using it, but I'm like 1 skein short. Can we find a color match?" I'd bring out everything we had in back, and there'd be nothing even remotely close just because of how different their colors are. Sometimes they'd send in things where one colorway and another colorway almost completely like swapped what they were but kept the same name just because of how different each dye lot was. So that is something to be wary about if you're new to getting into like hand dyes and like more luxury yarns. That Malabrigo is beautiful. It has some beautiful yarns, beautiful colors, but their colorways do have a lot of variations to them. This is the only acrylic yarn on this list, but Hobby Fluffy Day XL is a beautiful like brushed yarn. It's just got a really nice soft texture to it, super affordable, and this is what I use to make my penny lane coat. It's one of my patterns if you want to check it out, if you want to make it. But I made the penny lane coat using this. It's a bulky weight yarn. It is super soft, super cozy, and you can brush it even more for like a little extra oomph, if that's what you're into. But I really like this. I have a few colors to make another penny lane coat in like cool tones because mine that I made is in warm tones. So I was thinking of like making both and then maybe putting them up for sale. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if I'm ready to like get rid of it. I feel like I would need like a little stash of them before I'm able to like commit to selling because they're just so special, And I wear it all the time. The things that I make, I always wear. And I've gotten people commenting on my stuff before and they go, like, literally, it's just like a picture of me wearing it. I'll literally be like outside of the house, or it's like a video of me making it, and somebody comments, "Ugh, I hate it when people make things just for an Instagram post, then never wear it again." I'm like, who are you? I just finished this today. I gotta sew in the end, I gotta block it, I gotta wash it. I'm not gonna wear it out right away. What do you know about me? Like, I always make stuff to wear it. Like, why else do you make it? And of course, I do think that there are things that like making it is an art in itself, and you are expressing yourself and you are making this art. So there are some things that I've made where I just see it more of like an art piece, and that's okay. I think everybody should be able to make a little art piece. Nobody like paints something and in the comments of the painting they're like, "I don't see you hanging this in your house anywhere." I don't know. Like, I just think people like to pick and choose what they're going to critique, and knitting and crocheting being a very female dominated area, of course people want to like critique a little extra because that's the way the world works. These last 2 we're going to do today, these are from the brand Dream in Color, and these were another 2 that when I saw together, the ratatouille little strawberries and cheese went off in my head because they're just so cute. These are another gift from my grandma. My grandma bought these for me. She was like, you should always have a crochet enabler in your life. And I was like, Queen, you're so right. So she bought me these, which is very kind of her, as well as a few little skeins of this cotton one because she knows that there's this cotton pattern that I'm trying to write up. So it was very, very helpful. And I am so incredibly grateful for her. I love my grandma so much. I really, really hope you guys like this and that this video does relatively well because something's gonna have to compensate for how much cleanup I'm gonna have to do. I gotta put all this shit back where it came from. But it did honestly help me get more visuals in my head of things I want to make and work on. And I hope to help you get some visuals in your head of yarns you might want to try, things you like, small businesses that you might want to check out. So I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Also, if you have any ideas of things you'd want to see from me, specific types of videos in general, different kind of pieces, just let me know. I'm always looking for new things to do. I have ideas, of course, but I also want to know what you guys want to see and what you've been liking, or if there's something you haven't been liking so far. Open to whatever. Anyway, I will see you in the next one. Bye!